I hope you don't mind all those stuff inside. So it's still pretty cold. All right, guys. So we have the NerdQaxe right here. Shout out to powermining.io. Link to this will be in the description of the video. We will put it, come on, let's go, inside that fridge. All right. Okay, let's see how all the temp will go. Okay, so right now we are above 5,000 gigahash. Expected it's still at 5,304. Let's try to tweak the numbers and get the like 5,800 expected one. Let's see. Let's do 700 for this one. Save it. So again, we're still on the manual. Okay, now the expected is at 5,712. We are up now 5,000 to like close to 5,100 gigahash. So let's get it a little more higher, 5,712. Let's get it to 5,800. So we should be able to add a little more. It's about 720. Okay. Okay, so now it's a little higher than 5,800 expected. Okay, so efficiency, not too bad, still at 18.52 joules per terahash. ASIC temp, it went a little higher, okay, 54.3 right now, and the VR temp is at 56.8, now at 57. So it's getting a little hotter, but still at a good range. We wanna keep it lower than 60 degrees if we can, if the fridge temperature permits. Now again, this is just an experiment, guys. I wouldn't really suggest that you overclock it that far. Again, it's do it at your own risk. But this is just to show you how it looks like when it's inside the fridge. Now it's already at 55.1 with the fan speed at 100%. Fan RPM is at almost 2,700. So if this was outside of the fridge, the ASIC temp could have easily gone higher than 60 degrees, which is not very good. So right now we are close to 5,500, so 5.5 terahash. Power is at 95.5 watts already. Okay, VR temp 59.3, still rising, 55.5 for the ASIC temp. So what you will see on your screens is 56, because it's rounding it up. Okay, yeah, it's rounding up the numbers. Okay, so we'll give it a little more and see like what temperature we're gonna be getting until it stops rising. So power is at 95.8 watts right now. So this is higher than the 80 watts or the 85 watts that we usually get for the normal settings of the NerdQaxe++. And this also is way more than the expected, which is the 4.8 terahash. Now this is almost 5.9 terahash already. Okay, so VR temp 60.1 degrees already there. ASIC temp is at 55.8. Okay, we're not gonna go higher than that. We could see for ourselves, until what is the highest temperature for this one. 55.8 and 60.3 for the VR temp. 96 watts for the power. We are now at 5232 gigahash. So ASIC temp 55.9 now. So the temperature inside the fridge might now just be a little warmer now, and it's going to turn on that compressor a little bit more. So power is at 96.1, VR temp is at 60.5, and ASIC temp is at 56.1. So I also bought some copper heat sinks that I will stick to the top of the voltage regulators. And stay tuned, guys. I also have my BitAxe and the NerdQaxe++ Hydro version. We'll also check it and see, what we could also do and put it in the fridge, maybe the freezer. Actually, I'm thinking putting this NerdQaxe++ inside the freezer, but if I put it inside the freezer, we're not gonna be able to have like a live feed recording, just like what you see right now, where the camera is focused on the the LED screen of the NerdQaxe++. So right now is the VR temp is at 61.1. So before we open the door of the fridge, guys, we're gonna need to put it back to the original settings. Surprisingly, the hash rate, it's still at right around like playing at 5,200 to 5,300. It's not getting higher than 5,500. Okay, VR temp right now is at 61.3. ASIC temp is at 56.4. Okay, so reason being is that the VR temp doesn't have a separate fan. So it's relying on the ambient temperature. It doesn't have like a fan blowing into it that would reduce the temperature. But for the ASIC temp, we have this stock. Oh, you couldn't see it. Okay, let me zoom out a little bit. Okay, you have that stock fan. Okay, 61.3 VR temp, 61.4 now. And the power, as you can see right here on the left side, went up to 96.4, 96.3 now. ASIC temp, 56.5. What you could see on screen most likely is 57. Or it's still 56. Because most of the not most of the times, but every time it goes up to like 50, like 0.6, it rounds it up to, there you go. Now it's 57 because what I could see on screen is 56.6 earlier. Now it went back to 56.5. Hash rate is still at 52, 56. So, I mean, it's not really, I guess, right now worth it. But again, like the Bitcoin miners, like the NerdQaxe++, normally it gets more efficient and goes higher for the hash rates as it stabilizes. So if you keep it going and keep it mining for a bit longer, it will, spike at times. It may even get to that 6 terahash, but not for very long. So it's just going to go back and forth, that average or the expected. But normally, like what we have right now is 5,875 gigahash, but so far we haven't reached even close to that. So right now, still at 56.6 and 61.6 degrees for the VR temp and ASIC temp. So I guess, since we're still very far from doing that 5875, we're gonna need to like increase the power here, like the core voltage, to go a little bit higher. But since the VR temp is pretty much over 61 degrees already, I didn't want to push it too much. If you're gonna be asking me, is it worth it? I don't think so. I mean, because if you're gonna be overclocking it versus just going by the default, you might reduce the lifespan of the ASIC chip. So I would still, I mean, if you're gonna be overclocking it, again, it's totally at your own risk, but do not push it too much. Especially with all those temperatures, you gotta monitor those temperatures to make sure that you're not going above the ideal or the optimal working temperature. So right now it's at 61.8. So let's go ahead and put it back. I mean, let's see. If we put it back to its default, what would, so it's at 600, and then put this at default at, so as you can see, we didn't really push it very far. So let's do save. You will notice a drastic drop on the temperature for the VR temp and the ASIC temp here. And the power, look at that. From like 96-ish watts, went all the way down to 77.3. So now the ASIC temp is dropping. VR temp, wow, that's like 3 degrees in just a snap. So the expected is now back at 4,896 gigahash. You will notice that the hash rate, I mean, it's not really going to drop very, very fast. So it's going to maintain, because we were just like at around like 5,100, 5,200. So we really never got the chance to go close to that 5,800 expected hash rate. So VR temp now is at 55.5. ASIC temp is now at 52.6. It should go a little bit lower, more lower than that. Okay. Power still at 77. Okay. Now 54.4, 52.1. Okay, so I guess, it's now safe to pull that out. So let's zoom it out. And so that is where, I hope you don't mind all those stuff inside. So it's still pretty cold. I mean, still pretty cold inside here. So that's how the miner looks like. Okay, so now at 53. All right, so if you like this types of content, guys, and if you have, anything that you would like me to try out with the NerdQaxe++ or the BitAxe, feel free to go ahead and put it in the comment section. If you like this kind of content, don't forget to smash that like button. Head on over to the channel, guys. I make a lot of cryptocurrency contents, pre-sales, IDOs, cryptocurrency mining. I have also 2 Antminer S19K Pro that I will also be setting up. So stay tuned for that one. Consider subscribing. That way you will not miss out on any of the contents that I upload in the future. I will see you on the next. I'm out. Peace.